Hello and welcome, and thank you for taking our PMI-ACP exam preparation course. My name is Brian, and I'm going to be taking you through these modules as we begin to take our exam preparations. This course is going to be a great way for you to take and then ultimately pass the PMI-ACP exam. We've put a lot of content together for you here, and we're really excited that you've chosen to spend your time with us. We want to give you a little bit of background about what we do here at BetterPM.com. We were founded to provide a platform for project management training as well as other consulting services, so we have a number of courses in the project management space. Our dedication is in providing leading-edge project management courses as well as consulting services. We're a registered education provider, or REP, and our number is 3330. Aaron McDaniel helped put this course together, and he's one of our course instructors. He's a certified Scrum Master as well as a PMP, and I am a PMP as well. And we have a number of best practice online learning methods, such as online adaptive quizzes, and with the latest technology such as downloadable and streaming media. And your mobile devices are covered. We've got iPod and iPad quiz preparation apps for both the PMP and this course as well. And we've always got other training under development for PMPs as well as other PMI certifications. Let's talk a little bit about this course in particular. Let's give you an overview. We have designed this course to help you tailor the Agile framework to accommodate all the needs that you would have in various types of projects in your professional career as well as at your company. We're going to train you on a number of tools and concepts that the Agile practitioner uses today. By the end of the course, you will have learned the foundation necessary to take the Project Management Institute's, or PMI, their Agile certification exam, and to achieve that PMI-ACP certification. That's the Agile Certified Practitioner. We designed this course to help you tailor the Agile framework that you'll be learning about to be able to accommodate the various types of projects you'll be on in your professional career. We're going to train you on tools and concepts that the Agile practitioner uses today. At the end of the course, you will have achieved the foundation required for taking Project Management Institute's, or PMI's, Agile certification exam and achieving that PMI-ACP certification. That's the Agile Certified Practitioner certification. The course itself that you're going to be taking comprises a total of 8 learning modules, and we've also got one exam review module that will be coming up. Throughout this course, we're going to make continual references to the PMI Agile Certified Practitioner Handbook as published by PMI. Let's take a look at some of the specific content that we'll be covering from that PMI handbook. So PMI has a total of 6 domains of knowledge, as they call it, as detailed in their examination content outline for the PMI-ACP exam. We've tailored our course to very specifically adhere to these knowledge domains because those are the very things you're going to be tested on. Starting from the top, we've got value-driven delivery, stakeholder engagement, boosting team performance practices, adaptive planning, problem detection and resolution, as well as continuous improvement. All of these things are part of the Agile Practitioner's Toolkit, and they're all things that PMI tests very heavily on their exam. All of the content that we've got in the exam is mindful of these modules of learning, but they're not necessarily directly taken from PMI. Some of the specific topics we'll be covering in this course about us, as we've mentioned, as well as we're going to go over a typical waterfall project cycle. We're going to go over specifics regarding that credentialing process for the PMI-ACP exam. We'll talk about the manifesto for Agile software development. You'll hear a lot about the Agile manifesto. And the Agile process as a whole. Is it a process at all? Is it a methodology? Or maybe is it a framework? And how is it different? So we'll be talking about the Agile framework specifically and how it's different. We'll give you an overview of an Agile project lifecycle, go over benefits and limitations of Agile processes, and you'll be able to leverage the benefits of multiple disciplines. And you'll learn about something called Scrum, which is a part of Agile. And there are other types of Agile and variations as well. We'll be covering those. We'll also keep you up to speed with current trends in Agile as well as Lean. And then we'll be talking about PMI's approach to Agile project management. Let's talk a little bit about the objectives of this course. By the end of it, we expect you'll be able to very well determine the difference between an Agile approach and a waterfall project approach. You'll be able to understand and describe the differences pretty well as understand the pros and cons of each. You'll also know the basics of the Scrum approach, and you'll know the differences between the PMP certification, the PMI-ACP, and the Scrum Master certifications. When you complete the course, you'll be able to earn 25 PDUs from PMI, and you'll be able to immediately download your course certificate right to your device however you need to, or you'll be able to email it to yourself to print at home. And the 25 PDUs comes from a Category A from the REP courses from PMI, and you can go to PMI.org, go into your profile, and enter the course number. You can see it here on the screen, pound PM Agile-1, or again, provider number 3330, BetterPM.com, and 8 Images LLC. And then lastly, let's take a look at each of these course modules. So the first one, as we mentioned, is going to start with just giving you an overview of the exam itself. We'll talk about the prerequisites and the application process, as well as continuing certification requirements. We'll also show the structure of the exam and the knowledge domains that are covered. And then we'll also have a self-study recommendation, as well as a good practice exam, which is a part of this course you're taking. Then we get on to the modules. Module 1, we start with concepts of Agile. We'll know the differences between Agile and Waterfall. You'll learn the Agile Manifesto for the first time, and you'll know the pros and cons between Agile and Waterfall. We're going to cover the Scrum approach, and we're going to go over key aspects of that PMI-ACP handbook. Then we go on to Module 2, and what Module 2 does is we start to do a day in the life of Agile based on what you've learned in Module 1. So we begin to build on everything, and you see a life cycle of an entire Agile project, starting with frequent inputs of Agile and Scrum. Then we show you a number of execution tools, and we go into a topic called Agile modeling, and then finally we talk about measuring and controlling those Agile projects. By Module 3, we're going to be getting into some very specific sections of the Agile framework per PMI. The first one up, value-driven delivery. We'll go into topics such as value-based prioritization, the value stream analysis. We'll show you decomposition and prioritization, and we'll go over incremental delivery. Then in Module 4, we get into stakeholder engagement, where we talk about communications management and feedback techniques, but also assessing and incorporating that feedback from stakeholder values and the community. We'll mention active listening techniques. We'll talk about developing business cases for Agile, and we'll go over facilitation methods, and as something that's very key on the exam, we'll talk about the definition of done. When we get on to Module 5, we'll be talking about boosting team performance practices. Agile, as you'll know and learn, is very big on the concept of team and an empowered team. So we talk about building those empowered teams, as well as brainstorming techniques and a specific tool or set of tools called the information radiator. You'll learn a lot about information radiators in this module. And then we'll talk about globalization and culture, as well as team diversity and co-location, and how we can have good high-performing teams even if they're not in the same location. And then lastly, adaptive leadership. On to Module 6, we talk about adaptive planning. This is where we get into user stories and user maps. We talk about tools such as retrospectives, which is a meeting, and burn down and burn up charts, cumulative flow diagrams, and the concept of time boxing. So lots of tools get covered in Module 6. Rounding out our modules is problem detection and resolution for Module 7, and so we'll go over problem-solving strategies and tools and techniques specific to Agile. We'll talk about a key term called test-driven development. That's definitely an exam topic. Continuous integration, and then finally, acceptance test-driven development. Last but not least, at the very end of the course, we'll be going over Module 8, or continuous improvement of product, process, and people. Agile is really, really big on continuous improvement, and so we'll go over things like knowledge sharing, coaching and mentoring techniques. We'll talk about time, budget, and cost estimations, as well as Agile communication tools and emotional intelligence. So if you're ready, let's get started. In the next course module, you'll see an overview of the exam, and then modules 1 through 8 are up for you. Thanks again for joining us, and we're really happy to have you with us.